Pretty crowded. Pretty crowded over here. Um, yeah, there's nothing against you that we're seeing. Um, some of it's pretty cool, really. It's pretty cool. Um, it talks about the Galileans and that well, you'll see. It's just that's kind of like to prepare for the creatures of Melchizedek. Um, and my prayers are in there, and it's really well put together. Nothing to worry about. Okay, at GSA, we just did not really like the musical theater people, but when it came down to it, we respected them. Like Swisher and Roy, who was in it with me from Louisville, you know, and then Julia, and you know, I call him Jono. I, he's kind of like Jonathan from Russellville, but he was a black guy that was, I think his name was Jonathan. And I ended up seeing him at a Louisville game when I went with my brother, and he was cool. And yeah, it was just kind of like a little rivalry thing. We just didn't really like them, you know. But there was one girl that I liked, Chloe, who was in the musical theater, and I ended up asking her to prom, and I think I came on too strong because like at first she was cool, and then like she suddenly just like stopped with any sort of message back, and I right to this day I don't know exactly what was the problem, but because she would say things like, oh, the like the RA person, which was really like one of the first times I got in trouble was when I was there, just having a little bit too much freedom. But like the RA would say things like, when are you guys going to get together? Um, and then I ended up talking to her one more time, and she said nobody would hold the door open for her at UK. Um, because that's where she went, and she lived kind of by, I think, you know, where H built that house, and right on the line of Jessamine County and um, I guess Woodford County, or it's either Fayette or Jessamine or Woodford, Versailles and Jessamine. So sorry, it went out. Um, yeah, just like, and then a lot of them, they all cried whenever they were talking about the military. Whenever just in my theater, not the musical theater, and I was the only one who didn't cry. Um, and then I showed like Alexander the Great, that film with Colin. It's kind of, you know, just coincidental with today, but like I showed this guy Alex that I think his name was Alex, and then I ended up seeing him in BG when all that Diblath went on, and that was the last time I ever saw him. But he was kind of acting like he was scared or something. It was kind of weird. He was definitely lit on something, and yeah, and then like you know, my prom was good because I went with Casey, but I just took her home afterwards because she was still with her man, like Gary, and like he just didn't want to go. So I just felt foolish, you know. Like it was kind of like, why did I do that? Like I should have just not gone. But I did want to go one more time, like because I did not go my junior year, but I went my sophomore year with Hayden, and it was cool. But I didn't do anything with her, and then they would say things like, she was kind of wild, without, like, when she wasn't with me, she was wild. Like I heard some things, and um, anyway, touchdown. Um, yeah, that's basically it though. Nothing too crazy. I mean, I created these flyers my junior year, and I said like bird flu or whatever it was at the time. I said it spreads in close places or something, and ran off the flyers in the library. Yeah, I don't think it went over too well, but anyway, that's that.